Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm bringing you Spellbinders Clubkits BetterPress of the month for September 2024 Windy Fall Leaves. This Spellbinders set comes with a registration plate and I'll show you how I use them. Before that, I'm going to be using the Regal Tones BetterPress ink set. And one of the things about BetterPress ink sets, because they're so small, it's always better to get the refill with it. And before I start using this set, I decide to use my refill and rejuvenate the ink pads so they're nice and juicy when I decide to apply the ink onto the BetterPress plates. It's better to do that in advance, if not it takes ages to ink a BetterPress plate. And once I've done that, I start getting the paper ready to put onto the acrylic plate. So I've got two papers here, both 100% cotton. One is pearl white and one is fluorescent white. These are Letterpress papers. Or you can use the Spellbinder cotton papers as well, but these do just as well. So I start with the pearl white paper and I attach it to the platen, I think it's called, which is the acrylic plate. And it's got the measurements or the registration for an A2 size paper. And then I remove the BetterPress plates from the packaging of the BetterPress of the month for September 2024. The registration plate is really as plastic, which shows where you need to place each of those BetterPress plates in order to use different colors on them. You can do that. You can follow that or you can do your own thing. But I decide to follow that because it's nice and easy. I attach the plate onto the chase with my best ever craft tape so it's in place. The registration plate, they've got the images on different colors. So it's meant to be all those in pink, you use it together and use the same ink color, the green and black, same thing. You don't have to follow it, but this is a suggestion on how to use the registration plate and I follow it. When I ink my BetterPress plates, I put it onto a sticky mat. This is a Sweet Petunia sticky mat, which you can use in your Misty stamping platform as well. But the reason I use this is because I want to ink the BetterPress plates on this sticky mat so that all that excess ink that goes onto the sticky mat, I don't have to wipe it out before I do my stamping with the BetterPress plates. So I just remove the inked BetterPress plates and place it onto the magnetic platform, which is the chase. Because any excess ink on the registration plate or on the chase does get transferred onto the paper which is on the platen. To get the inked image, beautifully impressed onto the cotton paper, I put the entire letterpress system into the Platinum 6 Spellbinders Platinum 6 embossing on die cutting machine and I get a beautiful image. I continue this with the subsequent BetterPress plates following the markings on the registration plate and I ink them as well. I used the Regal Tones ink set here because I think they look nice and autumnal colors here. So once I've inked them and all the excess ink is on the sticky mat, I place them onto the chase following the images on the registration plate and you get a beautifully placed inked BetterPress plate. And I move them ever so carefully to follow the registration plates just using my fingers, or you could use a tool as well if you don't want to get your fingers inked. I follow this through until I complete inking all the BetterPress plates following the registration marks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press that notification bell so you're alerted when new videos are uploaded. I do lots of Spellbinders Clubkits videos, and once I've done all the videos for the month, I tend to put them into a playlist so it's easier for you to access them when you get your Spellbinders Clubkits and you want to start getting some ideas and some inspiration. Lots of them out there on YouTube. If you do have any comments, do leave them in the comments below and I'll endeavor to get back to you as soon as I can. All the products I've used are listed in the description below for your ease of reference. And here you go, a beautifully impressed image onto cotton card using BetterPress inks. Now, once you've done all of that, your BetterPress plates will get stained with the BetterPress ink. Use the Ranger Archival Ink Cleaner to remove the ink. Now, even if you use this archival ink cleaner, the stain does remain, but it doesn't get in the way of the function of the BetterPress plate. The ink won't transfer because that's just the stain. You can put a new ink and get still beautiful images. So don't let the stained BetterPress plates upset you. Here are a few different color combinations which I've used, and here I've used all BetterPress inks, various different sets. The next I'm going to show you how I do some BetterPress inking using the Letterpress system with some Catherine Pooler inks. This is the Party Collection Luxe. Again, I'm going to be placing the BetterPress plates onto my sticky mat, and the ink does pool a lot here on the sticky mat, so it's really ideal to do it not on the registration plate but on a separate surface. Then you move the inked BetterPress plates onto the registration plate as shown here, and then use your fingers to really move it right over the registration markers so it's in the right place when you want to do the impression onto the cotton paper. You got lots of ink. Keep trying the different inks that you have in your craft stash to see what works. Not all the inks work as well. This one, I think it turns out beautifully, and I continue to use the various colors within the Luxe collection. Catherine Pooler doesn't sell her inks in collections anymore, but I've bought it in collections, and I like how these colors go together. I think they're quite autumnal, and I decide to use these colors. The ink pad is quite juicy, so as you can see when I'm moving the BetterPress plate onto the registration sheet, it's also getting the ink on it, so just need to wipe that off. I've noticed that any excess ink on the registration plate, which is out with the BetterPress plates, does ruin it and does smear on the paper, on the card that's being impressed, where the image is being impressed. So just need to be careful. I mean, look at this green ink here, it's all over the place, so I just make sure I'm going to add some additional shadow here. So I'm using a brush here. I don't do it for all the other BetterPress, I'm just trying out here. So I do get a slight shadow in the impression when I put it through the Platinum 6 machine. I just think sometimes adding a little bit shadow like this, it just makes a little difference to the image in the end. So I do another version or another color combination where I do add an additional color to all the BetterPress plates, to all the individual leaves as I put it through the machine. I just wanted to have a look and see how it goes, and I think it turned out quite pretty. As I'm inking these BetterPress plates or these individual leaf images, I think it is going to do very well when I hot foil them. I don't do hot foiling with these BetterPress plates in this video, but I do them in another video, which will be part of my playlist for the Spellbinders Clubkits for September 2024 as well. So I do think it's going to look pretty, but I'll post that as well and you can have a look. Here I'm going to be doing all the BetterPress plates with the same color, and initially I added it all with yellow, and then I'm adding some red or some orange, darker orange, as a little bit of shadow to each of those leaves on the composition. So it's going to all be the same color, but I'm just putting a secondary color to each of the BetterPress plates to give it a bit of dimension, in addition to the impression that you see on the cotton card. I individually add the leaves according to the registration sheet. Now you don't have to follow the registration sheet, you can just put it randomly and see how it goes, but I'm a bit of a stickler here and I end up following it quite in detail, to the letter if you like, or to the image. But when I do my hot foiling with these BetterPress plates, I will do it more randomly because of the nature of hot foiling, and I hope you like the outcomes of those as well. I just cannot resist using the BetterPress plates to do hot foiling. I like how this turned out with the additional shadow in each of the leaves. I just think it will look really pretty. I'm going ahead and doing another version here where I'm going to put different colors, 3 different colors. I'm also going to add some shadow. Now, initially I add this color Uptown. It's a little bit darker than I thought it's going to be because I wanted to add a shadow of a bit of a dark blue. I'm not sure it turns out as well as I'd like it, but it does show a little bit of a differentiation in the color. So I'm doing this with all different colors and experimenting the color combinations. I think I tend to stick with the same colors. I think I use yellows, blues, and greens in most of my color compositions, albeit different shades of them. But I think those are the autumnal colors. But you don't have to stick to that. You can use pastel colors and different shades if you want, and check out how you like how it turns out. Now, when I have all these variations of colors, I end up doing quite a few cards. I didn't intend to do as many cards, but when you start with this, you end up, you can't help yourself sometimes. But if you think some of the shadows don't turn out as darker as you think they should be, put them through the machine a few times. As you can see on the left there, the card, I put it through the machine, I think 2 or 3 times, because the initial color was a little bit dark. So I added the additional blue shadow a couple of times more to get that variation that I was looking for. Here I'm doing some reds, and I'm adding a little bit of a darker red just to get that shadow as well. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press that notification bell so you're alerted when new videos are uploaded. I do enjoy using Spellbinders Club Kits because I like the fact that they come in a theme, and all of the club kits can be used together to make a card. So I do use quite a few different club kits to create one card. Sometimes I stick to one, but most of the time I'm using more than one club kit, and I do enjoy that. Because the Spellbinders Club Kits come in themes, I do store them that way as well. So I store my Spellbinders Club Kits by month, unless they are sentiment heavy. So last month, August 2024, the small die of the month was sentiment heavy. I keep that by my craft space so I can use it whenever I want. In fact, I used that sentiment from August 2024 in one of these cards as well. Now I'm just compiling my cards, and the way I do it is really, really simple. They're all A2 size cards because that's the size of my cotton card that I'm using for all the impressions that I'm doing with my BetterPress Letterpress system. So I'm just putting it on the card base, which is A2 size as well. An A2 size card measures 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. Here are the 6 cards that I've done using BetterPress inks as well as Catherine Fuller inks, dye inks. But what I do here for the sentiments that come with the club kit itself, I'm going to do some foiling, hot foiling. Now there is one sentiment that's got favorite and color spelled the US way. I try to sometimes ignore that, but for the purposes of this card, I'm not going to be doing that sentiment, because in the UK we spell favorite and color with an additional U, or with a U in it, and I'm not going to do that sentiment. But I do the other 2 sentiments in various hot foils, and I use the BetterPress plate of the sentiment the same way I would use a hot foil plate. So I put it in a medium setting for my Gemini foil press machine, 20 to 24 seconds, and put it through the Gemini Junior die cutting and embossing machine, and I usually always get good results. Sometimes there's a little bit of overfoiling, but overfoiling you can easily sort out or rectify overfoiling by taking a soft rubber eraser and just rubbing it gently against it, and there you go, you've got your sentiment perfectly foiled. I use the coordinating die that comes with the club kit, and I just die cut it. So this way I've got quite a few sentiments ready to use, not just in this set of club kit, but any club kits that I'm going to be using for this particular month. I also die cut additional strips and layer it a bit the back of the sentiments, so there's a little bit of dimension and robustness to the sentiments. And here I've used quite a few different colors, and I start putting them onto cards. As I'm compiling these cards, I'm thinking how they're going to look when I use these letterpress plates to do hot foiling, and I can't wait to show you how they've turned out. I've done a few of them, but I've not completed them, but I'll post the video shortly so you can have a look at it. In fact, I do post quite a few videos for the September 2024 club kits. When I'm completed with the videos, I will put them into a playlist, and that playlist will be on my YouTube channel, Angela Brennan Creations, as well. That way you can check out all of the club kits for that month at the same time in one playlist, easier to access them as and when you receive your club kits, or you want some inspiration, ideas, or even how to assemble a die set. This sentiment is from the August 2024 small die of the month. I do love this sentiment because there's quite a few word dies in there that you can formulate your own sentiments. For those of you who haven't taken the plunge to do BetterPress, Letterpress, Sing, do give it a go. I think the benefit of this, firstly, you can get really elegant cards really quickly. Secondly, you get a 2-for-1, as in whatever, most anyway, BetterPress plates that you have, you can do hot foiling as well. And you know, hot foiling gives you elegant cards as well. I do like the elegance that comes with both BetterPress as well as hot foiling. So to me, it's a 2-for-1, and I do always enjoy using my BetterPress plates for hot foiling as well. This is another example of the small die of the month from the August 2024 set. I'm here crafting a new sentiment, have a wonderful day, from the various word dies from that month. This is why I do like this set, and I will use it for quite a long time to come, I think. Again, here the word colorful is spelled differently as well. So if you probably see, I don't use it. I probably used it once last month when I did a card, but I rarely use those words that are spelled differently from the way they spell it in the UK. I do understand though that they will be doing a UK version, but I'm not sure when it's coming out or from when they'll start doing it. For this card, I did it all in red and I wasn't too keen on how it looked. So I added a die card of gold card just as a shadow with the red at the back. And I think it looks better because it gives it that extra shine as well for that sentiment. I hope you like how these cards have turned out and give it a go. If you do, let me know if you've got any questions, any thoughts. I always like to get feedback from my viewers. If it's good or bad, I don't mind. Good means I'm going to continue doing things the right way, and bad means I need to change it up. These are the 3 cards that I used the Spellbinders BetterPress inks to do the impressions, and these additional 3 cards here I've used the Catherine Pooler die inks to do the impressions. I liked how they both turned out. They both have got quite a strong color with a nice impression that goes on those cotton cards. I really hope you've enjoyed the video and loved seeing how I've produced these cards, and will enjoy seeing how I use these same BetterPress plates to do some hot foiling in a video that I'll release shortly. Here are close-up pictures of all the cards that I've created, and I really hope it gives you inspiration to try out your club kits when you receive them. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for all your support, comments, feedback, all of them appreciated. Happy crafting, and I'll catch you in my next video. Do take care.